Good morning, everybody. I'm back. Had to take a break because I got that high fence job and haven't been putting videos out, but got a surprise for you this morning. I'm down here on the trap line with Mr. Carl and Miss Liz from Razorback Snares. Got down here yesterday afternoon, and me and Carl took off and drove around the property, and he showed me the sets that they already had in. Me and him probably put in a dozen more sets while we were there. We're here at this intersection, and this right here is prime property for sets. What we've got this big lake over here, and then big slough over here. We've got this one road that's the only road that goes through here in miles, and all the water animals are crossing over. Beaver, otter, everything's using it. Raccoons are traveling, but Carl's got several sets in here, and we put in a couple of more. Carl, do you want to talk about this set that we put in yesterday afternoon?
Yeah, sure. What we got a situation here where the bank is really open. They've changed it here. It used to be a bunch of reed grass and just had a couple good trails crossing over from one side of the lake to the other on this levee. And so, like I said, it used to be reed grass in here, and we had simple trails. We don't have that now, so Chris and I just kind of come in here. He did a body gripper over on that side, and then the only thing we could really do here, we put a snare in right beside that culvert. A little bit of caster lure up top because the beaver are coming right here. You can see a big caster mound, and we're hoping that in there. It was knocked down this morning, so we had some activity. Hopefully we'll pick him up in the next day or two.
That's right. Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to keep on moving because they've got a whole bunch of sets out. Yes, and we'll check in with you at the next stop we make. All right, guys, so as soon as I turn the camera off, Miss Liz, tell them what you found there, Miss Liz.
We found a fresh bobcat.
And then when she pointed it out, Carl said that he seen where we actually saw this track yesterday afternoon when me and Carl come through. But Carl said he just seen where he come back in and investigated what we done yesterday after we left. So we're fixing to put in a bobcat set here real quick, and I'm gonna.
What we got here, we got this levee road. I was pointing out to Chris, there's that great big giant sycamore tree up there that's got that big hollow in it. And we would always set that up because we have like 3 to 4 roads coming in all right there together. And over the years, I couldn't tell you how many bobcats we've caught at that tree. We'll probably do a flagging generally up top, and just that big hollow. Every bobcat that comes and travels on these roads here is going to stop and investigate that. It's just been a killer spot over the years for us. We call that the bobcat tree. Like I say, we've been here 20-something years, and there's no telling how many cats we've caught in that hollow tree there. But it's a focal point. Like I say, all these roads come together right up there at that tree, and just a super hot cat location.
All right, guys, we're walking back into a little crossover here where Carl and Liz caught a couple of beaver already. When me and Carl got here yesterday, we added a couple of more beaver sets in the area, and we're just walking down here to check them. I'll let Carl talk about what we put in.
Yeah, what we got here, this is historically a favorite spot of ours for beavers, just going from a huge lake, and then over here it goes into a canal. This crossover's been here. We've been here 23 years. This crossover's been here ever since. I couldn't tell you how many beaver we've caught. And all we're doing, you can see where the beaver coming up that slide, and we're just dropping a simple 10-inch snare in there, a couple inches off the ground. We got another one right here, and just and of course you can see it's kind of tore up. We had 2 giant beaver here yesterday. Obviously nothing come through. And then we got a 330 Belial sitting down there where it goes off in the water, and great location. All this needs here is a little bit of time. We'll be connecting on this.
The possum?
Yeah, let me make sure my pistol's charged up, and then Chris put in a foothold, I believe, or a body gripper over it, didn't you?
Yep. So this is another spot, you know, same year they trap year after year, always brings in the fur. And that ice had Carl and Liz locked down, so they didn't get a whole, it's not a normal year for them, but they had to get a few sets put in. And while I was down here, we rode around yesterday afternoon, and I helped Carl get in some more sets, and I believe he's got plans to put even more sets in there while we're here today. But I'll walk you down here and show you what Carl said. He's seen a possum. They got dog proofs here. I hadn't spotted him yet. I'm not sure where the set is, but I'll show you the set that I made. And it's just they had noticed while they were checking these first dog proofs, they kept noticing where, oh, I see the possum over behind that boat. But they noticed that a beaver was coming in here every afternoon, fresh sign every morning, checking out what's going on with these catches they were making in the dog proofs. So I made a beaver set while we were here today. There's that possum. I'm just going to go past it. I didn't want to set up here where they already had the dog proofs and the activity, because that beaver would be leery of it. So what I did, I went out here on the point of this thing and just made a caster mound, put a conibear in this little channel. Let's step down here, I'll show you. Not seeing a catch yet. Yep, so it's still set. Actually, it's not. We've got a miss. What I did, just kind of got this little bit of a channel right here, and I come up here and left some beaver caster. I had my 330 underneath that grass right there, and it's tripped this morning, so I'm going to go back and grab the setters and get it reset back in here. And that's typical. It's kind of expected because that beaver's already leery.
What we got here, this club we're on is really trying to bring our turkey population back. I know it's not very glamorous with a possum, but we really focus on possum and raccoons. There's not many skunks here. A huge help to them trying to build their turkey population back. You know, habitat management is one thing, but all this works in together. They do a lot of work on their habitat management with grasses and lanes and openings and things of that nature. But this here is a huge part. If you have great habitat and you just allow the nest predators to run free, you're really going to struggle on your turkeys. And just one part of it, we typically on this club, we're generally bumping on 200 coons and possums here. Makes a huge difference on their turkey nest and ground nesting birds, things of that nature. So we're going to get him dealt with, get it taken care of and reset. We'll catch you a little bit later down the line.
All right, guys, since we're trying to catch a beaver that's already leery, I set this yesterday afternoon at noon. We got here this morning and this trap was tripped. I'm not going to put it back the same way that I had it, because all I'll have is another tripped trap. I mean, he's figured that out, right? So what I'm going to do, and we'll see if it works, it's been a good technique for me in the past, is we're going to take this Belial. In order to catch this beaver, we're going to set it just like we always normally would, have it ready to go. But instead of standing this up in the water like what I normally do, I'm going to make sure that the trigger's on the top. I'm going to take my safeties off. We've got this little narrow channel. We know if that beaver comes up here, he's going to be going down this channel. All I'm going to do is take this Belial under the water. I'm going to work it down in the mud a little bit. Remember, our trigger's on the top side. I'm going to bed it like I would a foothold in the mud. Trigger's up. Now what's going to happen, that beaver's going to come up here, whether he's walking or swimming. He's going to place his foot on that trigger, and that Belial will have him held here when we get here in the morning. So that's our hope anyway. No guarantees in trapping.
Hey everyone, it's Liz with Razorback Snares. I just want to let you know a situation that we had yesterday. We had 2 hog snares set up back here, and we did a video actually on one that got broken on our Facebook, Razorback Snares Facebook page. We mentioned one that it just shredded the 1x19 cable, but we had another one get into another snare next to it, and we did a video on that on our Razorback Snares page. And it took the 3-inch sapling, we had it attached to the snare, the extension cable and everything, and ran with it. And we finally found it yesterday, and it had run about, how far?
About 80 yards.
It had run about 80 yards, and it expired in the tree line over here.
It got tangled up in this
it got
brush.
Tangled up because of all the extra stuff it had on it. Yes.
That's a good size hog right there too. Carl, how much you think that thing weighs?
Oh, that snare probably weighs about 140, 150. We had the other one that broke the snare on camera. We got a series of cameras on that trail, and that hog was literally bumping on 300. He just powered out of it and broke that high tensile strength cable. This one here, a lot of times if they get tangled up like that, they'll expire, they get wrapped up, and that's exactly what happened there with that hog. Just another hog off the property.
Yes.
This place is so covered up with them. We're so thankful. As Liz explained, he was caught about 80 yards over here, and literally they're so strong, he broke a 3-inch sapling and broke it off and then drug it off. The sapling got hung up, he got wrapped up and expired. So we're glad to have him.
Yeah.
Catch you guys as the next one. Some more good information.
Good. All right, guys, what we got here, you can see just a smoking hot raccoon trail. We've already caught about, I think that's probably the 5th coon off of this trail. Again, we're just helping with our turkey nest program here. Little old small young raccoon, but that's definitely a nest eater, and we're glad to have him this morning. We're going to get him taken care of, get it reset. Got another trap right there, and all it is just a raccoon, big old lake here, and they just got a trail coming around the water. That water forces them out and around, and just a super hot location. We've already caught a good number of coons here, so we're gonna get him taken care of. We'll catch you on the next one. All right, here we are at a great location. We're just gonna do kind of a quick recap of it. What it is, got a big lake and a bayou on the back side of it. Always a super hot location. You can see it's we catch a lot of otter here, and just a ton of otter scat and rolling right here. You can see we've got a 330 body gripper down there in the water, and we've already caught 2 otter right here at this location. Do have a few beaver, but as you can look back, come on over here with us, Chris, and I'll kind of point out things too. We don't have anything this morning. Chris made a foothold set right here. Really difficult situation to set up because it's just open bank. So he did basically a caster mound with a big foothold there, and you can see actually the beaver and the otter cross over here all the time. I do have a body gripper down there in the water and that, but you can actually see animal tracks out there on the ice in there. And then over here, I don't know if the camera will pick it up. We come through and checked yesterday, and then we come back through setting more traps yesterday evening, and you can see where an otter come across and actually swam through that thin skim ice. This here has been locked up in ice for the last week and a half, and we're glad it's going to be one of the last things to thaw out because it's shaded all the time. The big lake, which catches a lot of wind, it's thawed out, so we're just now getting rolling on these, and we're hoping for some more beaver and otter here at this location.
All right, guys, here's my favorite spot on the whole place, and simply the only reason is because I set my very first hog snare here yesterday afternoon. If you follow me on Facebook, you saw a picture of Carl bent down there beside it, and basically all we just got a travel way, just like every other critter. And I'm gonna walk down here and show you my first hog snare, and then I'm gonna let Carl talk about the area. So this heavy trail right here, I mean, it's simple to see. Hog prints are in it. So now all we're looking for is a narrow spot, a good spot to put our trap, and right up here it narrows down beside that tree. Let's ease up here, and this is where Carl took that picture, and there's my hog snare. And the closest best anchor point I had was up here in this root system, so I just anchored up to it. So I'm looking forward and hope we can pick one up while I'm down here.
Yeah, this here is going to be a great spot. We've caught a lot of hogs on this trail, and all it is a high bank next to a lake. And the hogs, versus now at nighttime they get out there in the open field, but most of the time they won't be in the thicket and the cover. We've seen this over and over and over again. They feel protected down in here versus up there in the open field. Nighttime, yeah, they'll get out there in that open field, but right here is where you're gonna get all your traffic. And like Chris said, just a simple, basic trail paralleling the water's edge here, just like coon trails. You know, fox and coyotes and cats are run a high bank trail. Same situation, just where we got some hogs here. So he's gonna catch one right here. There ain't a doubt in my mind.
Yep, and what's better than one trap, guys, too. So while we were down here and I was making my set, we were both working at the same time, and Carl put another one just on there, that thicket of trees where the trail went through it, there behind it. And so now not only we got one chance here, but we got two chances, plus them hogs travel in sounds.
Yes.
So they travel in groups. So now when they come through, we're not going to get only one of them. We're going to hopefully pick up two of them out of the group.
That's a real good point, because I mean, your big boars are kind of loners. They'll be in and out of the sounder group, but 9 times out of 10 you got a big lead female, the lead sow, and then she's got offspring that's, you know, from a year or two that travel with her in the big groups. Chris, excuse me, there made a great point. Set you up multiple, if you got the trail for it, set you up multiple snares, and a lot of times you'll pick up doubles and triples on this.
Yeah. What a wealth of information Carl's got, guys. So we're gonna keep on moving. He's still got quite a few sets out here. Hopefully, we were hoping to show you a lot of catches, and that really hadn't happened, but hopefully we got some catches on down the road.
Yeah, hope so.
All right, guys, we stopped here, another perfect location. You can see Carl down there, and I'll walk down there and show you those sets we got yesterday. But while we were here, I seen this little trail going right through here, and we seen some Bobcat sign here, so I wanted to make a Bobcat set. And I had one of those cottontail rabbits that I caught on my mink line. I had it in the freezer, and I brought it with me, and what I did, I just set the snare up here at the entrance of it, and then I baited it with that cottontail rabbit remains back there. It's covered because of all that brush above it, so there can't be any birds or anything get to it. And that's what we use for that set. It's knocked down this morning, so had a miss, and that seems to be the way my luck runs a lot of times. I'll get this snare reset back in that opening here in just a second. Let's walk down here and we'll let Carl, we put in a few more beaver sets down here, and they already had a few sets here as well, so we'll get down here and talk to him and see what we got going on.
All right, well, we're having a slow day on the line this morning. Chris and I set a couple beaver snares up here yesterday. Had lots of fresh activity on beaver. And check this out. I was telling Chris that the hogs swim this little gap, and this is an old tram road, and they dug it out to allow boat traffic in and out of here. And I was telling him yesterday, the first day I got here, of course it's all snow and ice, but the hogs were swimming across there, and Chris had set a beaver snare right here, and you can tell there's a big giant boar hog track right there. You can see where he was in the water. He come across last night and actually stepped on his beaver snare and put a big old kink in it. And of course I got one right here. You can tell we had beaver caster mounds all down there, and we put some lure up high just trying to get the beaver here, but it looks like he had a hog trample on all the stuff here. I would normally set a hog snare on this right here, but the problem is we have a lot of deer that come across this thing too. So a good tip for you, any place that if you see deer tracks in the trail, just simply don't set it with a snare. Just be smart about it, be wise. Be a great place. If we'd had a hog snare like I wanted to do right here, we'd had a hog hung up here yesterday. So we're just trying to catch the beaver. We're going to avoid the hog situation because we do have multiple deer going across the same point here. Just be smart in your trapping and use good common sense, guys. Yeah, in Arkansas, anything on dry land, with the exception of, I believe it's 20 foot from water, is required to have deer stops. Now we sell snares for a living through our Razorback Snares page, but we always put floating deer stops on them. Of course, we're shipping them all across the country, but in the state of Arkansas, if you're up here, let's say I did put a, right here, I would be legal not to have a deer stop. Now, I wouldn't do this myself, like I said, because we do have deer here, and that deer stop's only going to allow the loop to close down to about yay big, and it lets the deer get it off his foot. So, you know, within, I believe it's, like I said, 20 foot of the water, you're legally not required. But again, just use good common sense and stay away from deer, and you'll be in good shape there. And anything outside of that on dry land has to have a deer stop on it for dry land snaring.
Don't let me drive off this levee.
Here we go, guys. We boy, it's been bad slow on the line this morning, and we're really glad to see this. Let me kind of show you this situation here. This is a smoking hot otter trail, and he's on a slider. What I'm trying to do right there is where we caught him, and of course he's got enough, looks like he got tangled up on it, but I'm trying to slide him to get him off this trail here, just to not burn my spot up. And because there's no place for a body gripper here, we got riffraff rock with open bank, so the only option to trap otter right here is a smoking hot crossover. You can see got scales everywhere, so we got that one in a foothold, and then come along over here, and right down there where they're going in the water, you can see we got another otter. So we doubled up on otter here this morning at one location, and after as slow as this been this morning, we're really glad to see him. These two, we got quite a few more just coon DP and stuff here to make finish out our little bit of run there. We're fixing to get him dealt with.
Guys, I hope y'all caught that. You probably saw that jerk. I was concentrating on recording that otter. I almost come up here and bumped my leg. Made me pee myself. But anyway, we're gonna get off here. We're gonna get these things reworked, reset, and keep on going.
Hey guys, it's Miss Liz and with Razorback Snares, and I've confiscated Chris's camera and just filming him trying to get down through that barrage of mess, trying to get one of our otter. And that's a nice one. Carl's caught several over here, and
yeah, I think this is the fourth otter we've caught right here, these two together. I'm glad to have them this morning.
yes sir.
All right, guys, we're driving this levee here, and we're just otter, scat, toilet right here on top of this thing. Right here's the trail. I've already dropped the 330 down here on this end of the trail there at the water's edge. Follow it right up, and Carl's over here working on throwing a snare in there, I believe.
Yeah, we're going. Historically, we've caught beaver and otter. A lot of otter cross right here, but we're going to lure it up, put some lure up high for beaver, and we really weren't set up for doing a snare, but it'd be hard. I mean, you could drop a body gripper down there, but it's so wide open, a lot of times they'll just go around that situation. So where they come up and over, we're going to drop in a snare right here, just real quick and simple. I'm gonna I don't even have any of my snare supports with me, so all we're going to do, we're going to improvise.
He is good at improvising.
Well, we're going.
That's the definition of a trapper, isn't it?
It is, yes sir.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of using the metal stands because they're quick and simple. Here I've had to kind of improvise and twist a piece of wire onto a stick. I just stuck my driver in there, made me a little pilot hole. So there's my snare support. Like I say, I'm not a fan of that because it's slow. And I'm all about speed and easy, and all we're gonna do, since we didn't have one of my snare supports on there, is we're just gonna drop that snare in. I'm shooting for a beaver here, so on about 2-3 inches off of the ground. That's gonna catch him up around the head and neck area. Take my driver. Gonna pound that in. Okay, that'll hold any beaver, any otter that comes through here. Get my wire out of the way. And right there, pick it up. About 2 inches off the ground. All I'm gonna do from here, got my little old clippers. I'm gonna clip me just a touch of blocking, doesn't take much. We'll be snaring beaver and otter right here.
And I'm just getting ready to set a coyote trap in the ground, and we're doing a dirt hole set, and I'm just gonna get to it. The main thing about doing a coyote set or an in-ground set is you want to make sure that it is sturdy, that it's locked in here tight, and then you want to pack around it. Make sure that it doesn't move. And then I'm gonna put me some peat moss on top of it. We have some rain coming in, and that will help our trap enable it to keep working. So dirt hole sets are pretty easy for me.
I'm sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you. Hand me your sifter and I'll put all that up.
They're pretty simple, and once I get through, I've already smoothed it over and everything. And once I get up, and we're going to kick out dirt where it just looks like the coyotes have come here and made a mess and scoped everything out. I'm just putting some of our bait down in there for coyotes, and then we're going to use a little bit of hellfire. And with lure, you only need a little bit of lure. And I put it as far down in the hole as I can. And then I move everything out of the way, and I just kind of kick it out with my hands. Make it look like a dirty mess. And that's about all I do on my set.
All right, so we talk about set locations. Sometimes one set's plenty, but sometimes you need two, and this is a spot where we're going to need two, and we're going to follow Carl over here and explain why two works here.
Yeah, well, we can kind of do it from there till we get up here, but what it is, it's outside corners. This is a road coming off of some irrigation ditches back behind Chris there. The coyotes hunt it. Well, they will come across this open field, but since that road's there, they're going to travel that road. We've caught many coyotes coming. They follow the road, the path of least resistance, and then as they come up here and hit the main gravel road, we got a little old spot up here that's got some Bermuda grass. It'd be a perfect spot to drop in a blended flat set, which we're going to do, but it's that outside corner. I mean, the coyote's not going to sit there and go through that thick area right there. He's going to bounce them outside points. Remember, if you're trapping fields for coyotes and you got a big long straight field edge, anything that sticks out as a point off of there, and particularly big, hard 90-degree curves, those outside points of coyotes are going to bounce it, and great places to pick them up. So we're going to ease up here in just a minute, and I'm going to put in a blended flat set. All right, guys, we're back here on this little spot we just spoke about. Miss Liz put in a dirt hole set down there. In a dirt hole, you're big and gaudy, something flashy. That coyote, he can visibly see that, okay? The only thing here, we're fixing to do a blended flat set. And as you can see, I basically took my shovel and I dug a plug out. I'm trying not to create a big disturbance like she did over there with the dirt hole. I cut my plug out. This is Bermuda grass, and I turned it upside down in here. I'm trying not to get a bunch of dirt everywhere. I've already got my trap driven in with my earth anchor, and I'm gonna come in here, and again, like she said, solid, solid, solid. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little dirt, come in here, I'm gonna start packing. You see my traps moving, and I'm gonna show you a little technique that I do a lot of times to help where I have a little bit of loose trap. I call this power bed, and I'm just gonna take my hammer and I'm coming right outside the jaws, and I'm just bumping that up just like so, and it's tightening up against my jaws. And see, now I got a rock solid trap. So all I'm gonna do, again, I'm trying not to make a disturbance. Got a little dirt there, I'm gonna brush it, and I'm just gonna come in here. I'm gonna feel my little pattern up there. I'm gonna dump this way over there, get rid of that. So here I am again. We want this to be natural. I've got a big wad of grass that we cut up. And this is working on a coyote's nose here. He can't see this. Now, the only thing that you could have done different, normally when I do a flat set, we're using a chunk of wood, a rock. I just happened to stumble upon this armadillo shell right here behind us, and I'm going to use it, allow myself about 9-10 inches here, and I'm fixing to tuck up my bait and lure under that. But on these, you can see there's no big scattered dirt pattern. A little bit of time on that, it's going to blend in, and it's totally invisible. That coyote's going to be working with his nose trying to find that scent, and hopefully mess around and step on this trap.
Just want to make sure that it's covered good and gaudy looking. Isn't that right, honey?
Mm-hmm. Get your stuff out. You through with all this, ain't you?
Yes. And we have some really defined raccoon trails coming from up off the levee, and they're coming around here. We're taking a chance. We're hoping we won't get a raccoon or a possum in here, but all this brush back here, the coyote, bobcat will be hunting around in. So we're hoping that they'll be running the edge as well and hunting in here, and we're going to lure it up, bait it up, and hopefully we'll have a coyote or a bobcat tomorrow.
Yep.
Push you a bunch of dirt right there, pack it in solid.
Give me the hammer, and I'm gonna pull up some of this dirt.
You got this dirt here too now.
I got this dirt. Pack it in under here.
That's perfect. It ain't gonna take much. He's gonna step right there if he goes down to that pipe.
We're just up from where we just stopped, guys. Right behind me is that big intersection opens up where we put the 2 dirt holes in, me and Carl. We pull up here to the next spot, and we've already set this up, but Miss Liz is finishing up a set right now. Do you want to talk about it, Miss Liz? Why we picked that spot to put the trap?
Well, we got Bobcat coming out here on the pipe.
Look right there behind her. How awesome is that?
Yeah.
And it's not just the track itself, it's the fact that it wasn't there yesterday when we come through.
Yeah, it was not there yesterday. It's like a neon sign flashing saying, hey, I'm here. So we just did a step down trap right here and bedded it really good, and he has to step down on it to come out the pipe. So we're going to have a Bobcat here tomorrow, I hope.
When you get ready, let's just use this. You ain't got to touch that rabbit. You just use that stick to poke him up in that hole.
Can I go ahead and do it?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's all right.
poke him all up.
Grab that big chunk and chunk him up in there. Grab it with you, bro. Drag him down in there.
Here, I already got him on my hand.
There
You
you go. Thank you.
Not too far back.
Oh, okay.
You want him to see it.
Oh, okay.
want to talk about it real quick, Carl or Liz?
Bobcat said that we do every year. As a matter of fact, I was putting the trap in here and we still had our earth anchor underneath the ground. So this is an awesome set. This hole has been here. It's not something that we really had to make. It was already here. We just kind of defined it a little bit. But we bedded our trap, made sure it was very solid, and then packed it around with dirt, and then I just crumbled some leaves on top of it and around it, and then put some bait in there. And then we put the flagging tape up here. Yes, this is an attractant for the Bobcat.
How does it work? What are you trying to accomplish with that? What's the Bobcat doing?
Well, as it blows in the wind, it sparkles and it catches the eye. It catches the attention of the Bobcat. So it kind of draws the Bobcat. Well, it does draw the Bobcat to the trap and then to the smells and everything that we have around it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, guys. So we just stopped. We just pulled up beside each other and was discussing this intersection. And yesterday when I got here, me and Carl rode around the place, and he lost his setters. Can you believe that this man has kept up with a pair of setters for 30 plus years? And we lost those setters the first day we got here. We were just sitting here discussing that. I looked up and seen those red handles shine. Oh man, how awesome.
I'm so thankful. These really aren't worth a lot of money, and they come out with a bunch of different types of setters, but they just got a little sentimental value to me. And I was heartbroken that I'd lost them, and I'd lost them many times in the past driving, and they bounced out my buggy, what have you, and that's exactly what happened. But we actually thought we had lost them probably a mile from here, and here they are. I'm tickled to death.
All right.
He gets better luck than he's got 30 years with them setters, and I bet I don't have a pair that I've had longer than 2 years.
That's the way them setters is, but I'm glad we found them right
I'm
there.
probably more excited than he is.
That's perfect. Now just pour just a little pea on the toast and a little bit of that other stuff he's got on there.
Just pour it.
Yeah, the nozzle may be stopped up because it's a little chunk of meat. Oh, you got it. It's good. Sometimes it don't work.
So that much.
Yeah, that worked. Don't hand it to me. I'll get it so you don't get it over your hands. That stuff sticks with you. Miss Liz making a pea post here.
Yeah, that's right.
You guys just watch her put that thing in. And all that is, guys, we're mimicking that. Everybody's got a dog and seen their dog go out there and pee where the last dog peed, and that's all we're doing is trying to mimic that here with these wild animals.